Welcome to the Subhub Podcast. I'm Dani Moreno.
And I'm MK Sullivan. And today we are talking about our second US qualifying race for the World Championships this summer or actually not this summer, basically this fall in Spain, which is happening over in New Hampshire at the Sunapee Scramble.
Yeah, it's really exciting to have this race once again to be a qualifier selection race. The Sunapee Scramble put on by 603. I believe so. Yeah, 603
Yeah,
by race director Tom Hooper.
Hooper.
Um, and they selected the team a couple years ago, and that team did incredibly well. So yeah, we're big fans of this course. We think it's just like the perfect terrain for finding mountain athletes that can do well on the course in Spain this fall.
Yeah. And just to clarify, because I did not say it, this team is the classic up down team that we are qualifying for. And when I say we, I mean the US, not me or Dani.
Me and MK are picking the team for something. That'd be sick though. Yeah, I would love to pick a team one day, be like a team captain, be like, yeah. That'd be sick.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
We'd
my
be great team
dreams.
captains.
I think we would be. Yeah, very
We know
balanced.
enough
We know
about the
enough.
US athletes.
Um, but yeah, today we're just going to focus on this. We know we just had Zagama, but if you haven't already, go listen to the episode. If it hasn't already come out, with champion, who we called Sarah Alonso, where that episode will be about all things Zagama. But we want to give this race all the praise and love that it deserves because, yeah, we're picking our team, which is awesome. Uh, Quick little shout out to one of our sponsors, Never Second, who is also partnering with the Sunapee Scramble this weekend, and that is Never Second. Never Second they'll have some gels, some mixes, and I believe some bars out there. So if you are going to be there in person at the race, have never tried the products, please do. These products are just as important, if not more important, for short racing because you're out there burning all that energy and you need to refuel.
Yeah. I I would, if it was me and I was running this race and I had never second products and I was going to use, I think I would take a caffeinated gel, probably like 15 minutes before the race. I would drink an entire bottle of C90 on the climb up, probably not have anything on the way down. I would drink another bottle of C90 on the second climb and then just try to finish it out, but have a gel in my pocket just in case. What would you do?
That's a pretty good plan. I think I'd also do caffeinated gel.
Mm,
Um, and I would drink 3 scoops of C30 because even though it's not humid, like if there's any moisture, I'm just probably sweating buckets.
desert girlies.
Yeah, I do like that you wouldn't do anything on the downhill because I agree. It's like a very
It's
technical
so
slot.
short.
Yeah, and it's fast. So you just want to be paying attention. You don't want to be ripping things open.
Yeah.
And then I would have a second bottle, probably with just 2 scoops of C30 again, because I'd want another caffeine gel. Because these
Yeah.
races, like, they finish fast
I'd probably end up putting the caffeine in my
in the
No, because
bottle.
then it would be too long. It'd be nice to just get it in.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
quick slap, quick hit.
Yep.
Get me done.
Well, if you guys are out on the course and you try it, because it's probably a little too late to order it at this point, but if you like it and you want to use it in your next race, make sure you use our code SUBHUB25 at checkout for 25% off of Never Second. We're big fans. We talk about it all the time, but yeah, hopefully you guys like it.
I feel like we just did like beautiful mind math in our heads. Like it's a cool party trick. It's like, hey, if you're running this race, how much would you drink? It's like, yeah, I would do C30, C95, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's a pretty sick party trick, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I feel like now it's just because Never Second's so easy. It's like, okay, I know
Yeah,
exactly how I'm gonna like lay this out.
so easy versus like this one's 23, this one's 27. Like,
Yep.
meh, meh, meh. Yeah, no, I agree.
Well,
Um, First things first, just like some overall information for Sunapee Scramble. Lucky you guys, because we know you love hearing our voices so much. We are actually going to be commentating because they will have a live stream for this race, which is
the
awesome.
only live stream for any of our our US selection races, which is kind of unfortunate, but 603 does a great job like putting on live streams for their race. We did it 2 years ago. Don't go listen to it because I was really sick and my I sound like I'm dying. Unless you really want to listen to it, just don't listen to me.
Yes, and it's very easy to find the live stream. Go to 603endurance.com. Go to the top header, which says races, go down to Sunapee Scramble, and right there in a big red square, as soon as you scroll down under the date and such, there's a box that says 2025 race live stream. So that's what you click to find it on race day. So yeah, we will be talking out there, and then there will be some folks on the ground as well, helping with the commentation, etc.
Yes. All right. So let's talk about this course a bit. If you've been, listening to the pod for a couple of years, you probably already know the course, but we're going to go over it anyways. So like we said, this is the up-down classic mountain qualifying race. So therefore, it is an up, down course. We have 2 laps of Sunapee. Is it called Sunapee Mountain here? I think so. The course in total is 9.3 miles with 3,300 feet of elevation gain. The first lap is a 2.3 mile ascent up a service road. You gain about 1,500 feet, and then you descend 1.75 miles on a ski trail. So not a dirt road or anything, but ski trails, which I'm assuming means it's fairly grassy. And then lap two is a 3.5 mile ascent, so a little bit longer than the first lap. Starts on a service road and then goes to a very technical trail to the summit that they posted some, videos of, and people are on their hands and knees like crawling. And you gain 1,800 feet on that lap before you descend on the same ski trails that you descended on the first lap.
Yeah, and if you saw the live stream from a couple years ago or any content that came out of that, like this is New England, like tough, hard trails, lots of rocks, and especially on that second descent, like there's great video footage of Grayson Murphy, Ally Mack, just like absolutely smashing that downhill. So again, I mean, we already said it, but we do think this is a great, great course to pick racers for San Francisco, because that what we've heard is like a really technical course. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
And just a reminder, I know we've probably spammed you guys with this stuff on our Instagram and with our previous episodes, but top 4 men who are eligible under USATF rules will secure spots on this team. Top 3 women will secure spots. We only have 3 women because Grayson Murphy is our 2023 world champion, and therefore she has an automatic spot on the team.
Yeah, and if you're a track fan, this is somewhat, it's kind of an interesting area for mountain running right now. It is of MK and I's opinion that the World Athletics should pay for Grayson to go back like they do for other champions in track. We don't know if they do they actually pay for them,
I don't know.
but
But
that would be ideal.
yeah, like in the track and field world, if you have a world champion like Courtney Frerichs won the steeplechase in what like 2018 or something. I can't remember the exact year, but she won the steeplechase. So therefore, the next world championship year, we actually because usually track takes 3 athletes to a championship. We got to take 4, one of those being Courtney Frerichs having an automatic spot, and then they still had 3 spots. So it's kind of a bummer that like in this scene, Grayson has an automatic spot, but then we don't still get 4 spots on top of that. And obviously it is a funding thing. USATF has not fully funded mountain running to begin with, as I'm sure you guys have heard in many controversies in the past, but it would make more sense to me if, especially since there's only 4 events, so 8 champions total, if World Athletics just covered those people, and then the USATF still got to send 4 other women.
Yeah, it's like obviously a huge benefit to have a previous champion, but it also could feel like a penalization for like
Yeah,
other athletes who can earn a spot on the team. Obviously Grayson being an incredible add to our team, but it like obviously she did this outstanding achievement. She should be considered an outlier in that case. And so
yeah.
then we have 5 women. But yeah, that's just our opinion. And maybe I just want more people on the team to be sick.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
you still only get to score like three, I think.
yeah,
So it doesn't matter, it's not like you get extra points for taking another person.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's why only the top three women will be making the team versus four like there's on the men's side. And we do have a handful of athletes who have been on previous Trail USA teams, 18, which is crazy. But just a couple that we want to call out. We have four world champions who will be competing in the race this weekend. Casey Enman of 2011, Mandy Ortiz of 2013. She was an under 20 world champion. Ali Ostrander, who was a 2015 under 20 champion. And then we also have Ali Mack from 2022. And those are all women. And then it turns out Lauren Gregory was also a bronze medalist in 2017, and then Talon Hull on the men's side as well in 2017.
Yeah, for U20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. It looks like perfect weather. I'm like,
Yeah.
last year we were looking at the live stream from last year and like
two
the
years ago.
weather was or I keep saying last year, 2 years ago.
It's
And the weather was nasty. Like they were even having problems with coverage because the cameras were just getting all like messed up. Both days were rainy because last year they also did the vertical
2 years
qualifiers
ago.
2 years ago on the same weekend or at the same course. And so both they were just nasty, nasty days. But this year it's going to be raining on Saturday, but the race is Sunday, and Sunday is looking like 60 degrees and 17% humidity
What?
in New
That's
Hampshire.
crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. It also was earlier because it was at Innsbruck in
Oh yeah, it
June.
was in April, right?
Yeah. So I'm sure that's a more difficult, I mean, like we experience in our mountains too, like the weather's kind of all over the place. But still, the fact that they're getting rain the day before, like that might actually make what would normally be quite slippery with like gravel and ski trails, like pack it down, which will be really, really nice.
Yes. Um, you have written down here that World Championships has an Instagram now. Do you want to hype that up a bit?
Yeah, it's a little misplaced, but
Oh,
basically it was it's just on the same note of like the that we're picking people for the World Championship, and if anyone is interested in learning more about the World Championship after this race, they do have an Instagram now. So they changed the Innsbruck Instagram to now match this year. I think it's called like WMRA Canfranc or something like that. Like World,
yeah.
yeah, which I thought was kind of cool that they just changed it. So yeah, side tangent. Um, but yeah, looking back to 2 years ago to
2 years ago,
2023,
not last year.
the results were Grayson Murphy, who we've mentioned multiple times now, later became the world champion. She ran 108.56, and then it was Ali that's so funny. I'm so used to calling her Ali Mack. When I see McLaughlin, I'm like, wait, who's that? Ali McLaughlin was 111.53, and then we had a close battle for third and fourth with Rachel Tomajic getting the third place spot in 116.35, and then Casey Enman running in 116.40. And then Megan Lacey rounded up the top five in 117.05.
Yes, and we are not, Grayson Murphy will not be joining us this year for the championship race itself, but Allie Mack will be here, Rachel will be here, Casey will be here, Megan will be here. We'll talk about all these people later, but like it's cool to see 2 years later, like we have a lot of the same women competing on this stage. And it's similar on the men's side as well. Last year, Dan Kurtz won this race in 61 minutes and 4 seconds. And he also, like Grayson, kind of took it from the beginning and just like held it until the end. In second place, there was actually a Canadian, Alexandre Ricard, in 102.43. Morgan Elliott was third and the second American in 102.51. Liam Mayrow was fourth and third American in 103.16. And then another Canadian, Remy LaRue, rounded out the top five in 103.26, making Eddie Owens, who was sixth place, the fourth team member for USA.
Yeah. So that's just to like give you guys an idea of times based on slightly more sloppy conditions. Um, Going back to this weekend, just a couple other things. The men's and the women's race start at different times. The men's race starts at 9 a.m. and the women start 15 minutes after, which is great. It means they can catch a lot of the guys. And I think that's it for just like the basics before we dive into the players that are going to be here.
Yeah. But real quick, let's give a shout out to Beekeepers Naturals. We are all traveling for races now. Things are really kind of heating up. We got people flying all the way to New Hampshire, but we also have people flying all the way to like Italy and stuff in the next couple months for Lavaredo or going to Western States. And we all know at this point that somebody is going to get sick. So you
Somebody's
might,
going to get sick.
yeah. So you might as
Nose
well,
goes, nose goes.
yeah, no, I'm out. I've been sick enough. So you might as well get yourself prepared, get those supplements, those vitamin C's, those zincs, but also check out Beekeeper's Naturals throat spray. That stuff, I swear to you, has saved my life since I started using it a couple years ago. When I start getting like a little bit sick or right before I travel, I use their throat spray. And I swear it either like if I'm already sick, it knocks whatever I have out. Or if I'm like, on the way to travel, I haven't been sick traveling since I started using it. So if you guys are interested in Beekeepers Naturals, use our code SUBHUB20 for 20% off. I know Danny's been really into the nasal spray recently. Are you still using that?
Yes, but I've switched to the lozenges lately. They're
Okay.
just like so easy in the morning, vitamin D and zinc. But I totally get the immune support throat spray because it has like everything. And when
Yeah.
you're traveling and if you wear a mask on a plane, it's like really easy to just like lower your mask, spray it in there, before you go to sleep, put your mask back on. Again, when you get off, it's just like it's easy to take because you're just
Yeah.
like spray, 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 spray. Yeah, I totally agree.
Uh, yeah.
Did you give him the
Tommy
code?
makes, yeah, SUBHUB20
Okay.
at beekeepersnaturals.com.
Yeah. What's Tommy's thing?
Oh, he always like makes fun of me because I'm always using the throat spray. I'm like, you should use it too, as he's like, hacking up along. I'm like, I'm not sick, so
The proof is in the pudding, Tommy.
yeah.
I
All
love it.
right. Should we go through some key players in this race?
Heck yeah.
I'm
Let's
stoked.
start. I'm so stoked. I've been excited to preview this race for probably weeks now.
Yeah.
Women's side. Quick couple of notable drops. Grayson Murphy, super bummed about that. I just think she would add an extra layer of fun to this already great group of women. And she already has a spot, like nothing to lose. I kind of just wanted to see her like send it.
Yeah.
But hope she's doing okay and making the right call. And then another notable drop is Oakley Olson. She is on the trail team and just like one of those firecrackers making her way up in the sport. So also just love those folks. But let's get to the women that are on the starting line. Let's start with no other than Allie Mac Attack McLaughlin, previous world champion in the VK in 2022 in Thailand. This woman has no fear. She recently put up a video where she was like racing a base jumper, which is just so on brand and awesome. Um, yeah, we got Ali Mack, and then we have another world champion, Casey Enman, who I've had the pleasure of being on a couple USA teams with. Tried and true, been on lots and lots of teams, and was a 2011 world champion. And last year, or sorry, 2 years ago now, I'm starting to do it. In 2023, earned herself a fourth place at this race,
Yeah.
so she knows what she's doing.
And unfortunately, Casey either got sick or hurt when we got there or right before she left, so she wasn't actually able to compete,
Ah,
which is such a bummer because, like, man, she earned that spot. Her and
yeah,
Rachel racing at the end was so cool to watch.
yeah,
And on that note, returner, I think this, if she makes the team, would be her third US team in a row because I'm pretty sure she also made Thailand.
yeah.
Rachel Tomajic, she was on the VK and Classic Mountain team, yeah, in 2022 and 2023. And I feel like Danny and I have said this a couple times on the pod recently. Rachel has leveled up even since 2023 making the team. So like I'm excited to see her on this course because I felt like 2023 was like kind of a first taste of like Rachel downhill, and now she's like unstoppable on any kind of downhill, technical or runnable. So,
Yeah, Rachel is for sure one of my favorite US runners right now. I think just like because she's just been throwing herself in races, like the hardest races, like both on the WMRA circuit and Golden Trail and then obviously the World Champs, and like you can see it working. It's like, yeah, if you find yourself banging against the wall, just like keep challenging yourself and it's gonna level you up. So yeah, really, really excited to see her race.
yeah.
Uh,
Anna Gibson just ran Zagama last weekend and was 11th. But she's like one of those athletes that's so versatile that I can see her recovering pretty well for a shorter effort out here. But she's got a lot of accolades. Second at the 23K at Broken Arrow in 2023, first in 2023 in the VK. She was third in 2023 in Pikes Peak Ascent. Like the list goes on and on. Anna Gibson is ready to show up to this. This would be her first time competing for a US team, I believe, at least that we know of at a senior level. And yeah, I'm very excited that she's decided to try to make this team instead of just focusing on Golden Trail.
yeah, that's right, because in 23 she did track.
Yep.
Until
Yeah.
Broken Arrow. Yeah, Anna, if you're listening to this pod, just sleep, girl. Just sleep, eat, put your feet up, and just roll into this race, and you'll be good to go. You got this. Lauren Gregory. I mean, Lauren Gregory is one of the best American global or just global runners right now. She really showed up in the final at Golden Trail World Series where she earned herself a second place. Was that in the second day?
I think she got second both days.
Oh, crazy. No,
Yeah.
but I thought Joyce. Oh, she did pass Joyce in the.
Yeah.
Maybe she was. I thought it went Joylene, Joyce, and then her. I forget. She got second though. And she ended up seventh overall in the rankings after having earned a podium at Headlands, third place, and sixth place at Mammoth Trail Fest. And she's a two-time USATF vertical mountain champ, and she just knows these trails. I mean, she used to live out on the East Coast. And I think that's a large part of the reason why she's able to run technical downhill so well. She's just used to East Coast trails.
Yep. She's pretty fearless too.
Yeah.
And then we have Ali Ostrander, who has not made a U.S. mountain team since she was the U20 world champion back in the day. That was when Ali was a freshman at Boise State, and I remember because she was in the same conference as me, she came to conference championships here in Reno, kicked all of our asses, and then the next week, like, went to become a world champion, and then came back and was like top 10 at NCAA cross country.
That's
And
crazy.
it was in Uganda that year.
That's
So
crazy.
that's big travel.
That's a
Yeah.
long
But
travel.
Ali Ostrander is well known in both the mountain world and the track world now. But she kind of showed up in a big way last year at the American races for Golden Trail, and I have no doubt that she will be a big contender in this race.
What's
And
kind of
then,
interesting
oh,
with those last two is that they both have been training together through injury. Is
mhm.
Allie back running now?
I mean, she's not scratched off of this list, and they have scratched other people off, so she
Yeah.
must be healthy enough to feel confident to race.
Yeah, because how long was that ago that she announced that she had a stress fracture? Was that what it was?
Probably longer ago than we feel like it was. I feel like this
Totally.
year's flying by.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay, well, we're gonna
Yeah.
assume that she is racing because she has not been scratched. Okay, that was March 30th that she
Wow.
announced that. Wow.
Yeah. So 2 months ago.
Okay.
And I
All
mean,
right.
knowing Allie, she cross trains like an animal anyways, so I'm sure she's been like
Yeah,
biking like a fool and also doing like Ultra G stuff. But who knows? Either
totally.
way, she's
Yeah,
still
that
on this list, so we're gonna assume she's coming.
I was about to say it'd be super sick if they both made the team because they're such homies and have like been together through this
Yeah,
trial. But there's so many people that can make this team, so I'm
I
not gonna say that yet.
know. Up next, we have Cody Clevin, who was third at Speed Goat mountain races last year. Mostly like dabbles in the 50K realm in the trail world, it seems, but like still has run 112 and a half. So I'm excited to see her kind of mix it up in this shorter stuff. I imagine being from Utah, though, she probably has some Cirque Series results as well. Emily Clark. Eighth at the 2024 USATF Trail Half Marathon Championships in Moab last year, and 10th at her first USATF mountain running champs or vertical champs at Loon Mountain last year. And I think, yeah, this is her
She's a Reno,
first
right?
in,
Reno girl?
not anymore. She lives in Flagstaff now.
Ah, darn, another one
I
left.
know. Another one bites the dust. But I am pretty stoked for her. Last year when she ran these vertical mountain running champs, she had pretty much like just finished her walk run program to come back from a stress fracture, and she's been training healthy since then. So much fitter, much more excited to race, and also less nervous because this is not her first year running against all these badass women.
Yeah, yeah. I think she'll be in the mix for sure.
Yeah.
And then we have Megan Lacey, who was top five at this race 2 years ago, which I think definitely speaks. She's also someone who just has made a handful of USA, or she made the team that they then went to Hawaii. That was
Yeah.
2022.
And then she's
Um,
made NACAX last year.
and she made NACAX last year. Yeah, so she has pinned on the Team USA jersey a couple of times, really good at technical downhills. And then a couple other names to mention, Jamie Brusa, who has represented Team USA at the Obstacle World Championships. That's pretty sick. Top five at almost all the Cirque Series races last year. Mary Beth Chalanga is an interesting one to me. She ran 110 last year, or in 2023 and 233 at the Olympic trials and was second at the Mount Washington road race in 23. So road speedster. Corey
And that's a
Dow,
steep hill.
that's
So
a steep hill.
also good
That's steep.
uphiller.
Yeah. Corey Dow was at on the USA team in Thailand, was 23rd overall in those results, and has often been in the top 10 at USA Mountain Running Championships. We have Sydney Peterson, who was 14th at last year's Mammoth Trail Fest, which that was a blazing fast Golden Trail World Series race, so that definitely deserves a call out, and was fifth last year at Snowbird's Cirque Series, which that is like pretty technical race on the downhill, so major call out there. Hannah Rowe, who was the USATF 50K Trail champion in 2023, and also has a 2:39 marathon and a 1:15 half marathon. So yeah, trail ladies are just getting fast overall. And then who I'm calling a sleeper, we have Taylor Tuttle, 28-year-old from Colorado. She has run low 20s in the 6K cross country meets at her Pac-12 championships and also at the NCAA Division One cross country championships. Those are fast times. And she was also second to Bailey, I believe, at the Moab Trail Half Championships last year, which looks like might be one of her own trail races. So being second behind Bailey in a USA Championship is like, I think she could be one to watch.
Yeah, not much difference between 9.5 miles and 13,
Yeah.
especially with this much vert. It's like
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, so those are our women. Do we want to give predictions?
Oh.
We don't have to.
I was thinking about this today on my run, if we were going to do predictions or not. The thing for me is I'm like, this is such a great collection of women that I think if the US sent two teams this year, like
We'd be fine.
we both would probably be in the top five teams, if not the top four.
Yeah.
I think any combination of women that make this team could win the world
Yeah.
championships, which is exciting. Because yeah, I think this is a great representation of like people who are really good at like short, fast, hard racing right now. Um, I am like holding my breath a little bit for in a good way for Lauren Gregory, Alio, and Anna Gibson, all for different reasons. Like I want Anna Gibson to just have seamless travel back home, no stress, so she can just roll into this race. I don't know if she's already back home, but that was her first marathon. But
Hmm.
yes, caveat, like she's extremely good at cross training and stuff like that. Um, and then Lauren Gregory and Alio just coming off of injuries because those three, I'm like, damn, if those three were just the team that like they would crush it. Um, but then like you have Ali Mack and Rachel Tomajic and Casey Enman who are just like vets at this point. Like they know what to do. Like they know how to get on teams.
Yeah.
So it's almost like this veteran crop and then like these new young guns that haven't been on a team yet. It's like really exciting.
Yeah. I don't know that we pick for this one.
Yeah.
It feels too close to home. Like I just
Yeah,
want,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, we'll just
We just want a great
you
team
guys,
and like everyone's gonna crush
yeah.
it. Yeah.
You guys have the information. You can make your own picks this time around. And Danny and I will be there. We won't be there live, but we will be on the live stream with you guys. So
Yeah, no, definitely. All right,
sick.
men. Oofda. All right, let's kick this off with previous champion from 2023 because this race did run last year, but we keep
Yeah.
referring to the last time it was a USA team selection race. So we have Dan Kurtz, who kind of ran away with it and had an incredible race. The dude can run technical downhill. It seems like I always see a video where he's almost falling off of something or one of his friends is almost falling off of something. And he's lived on the East Coast for a really long time. I don't know if he still lives there, but he knows how to run these really tough trails. And yeah, he made both the classic and the vertical team last time.
Yep. And I'm biased towards Dan because he's now one of Rick's athletes as well. So I'm stoked to see him back out there. And also these are like his home trails. He's recently moved to Boulder, but he's like born and raised in Vermont and like has run this course as well as many of the other 603 races many times in his career. So Christian Allen coming off of a stress fracture. This will be his first race since
Golden Trail?
Golden Trail. I feel like maybe he did some amount of road stuff. Oh, since Houston,
Oh, yeah.
where he ran a crazy fast marathon, but then obviously hurt himself after that. He was top 10 at the Golden Trail World Series final rankings last year. Pretty sure he was the only American in the top 10. He was the US ATF up down national champion last year, as well as the US ATF half marathon trail champion last year. Um, if Christian Allen is healthy, he will crush this course. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
he's very fast, so I have no doubts if he's healthy, but we don't know where exactly he's at the moment. Taylor Stack. This guy, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I remember him by his pirate shorts, because he finished fourth at Broken Arrow 23K last year. And I remember being like, who is this kid? But I mean, he's run 13:48 in the 5K. He was a Division II champion in the steeplechase. He's obviously a very good runner. Third in D2 cross country.
Wow. He now looks like he's a Brooks athlete too. So once again, just
Cool.
like Brooks swooping on that young talent in these short races. And it looks like he was just second at Desert Rats 21K behind Eli Hemming.
Sick.
Yeah.
I hope he's wearing his pirate shorts.
Brooks is like, we'll make an exception for your shorts. Yeah, no, I think he's one to watch. Another young gun to watch, Cade Michael. He was a Golden Trail World Final qualifier. He won UTMB Whistler 50K, and was 10th at Broken Arrow Sky Race 23K last year. He recently ran Canyons 50K, where it sounded like he might have felt a little bit of hypothermia, kind of going into the last part of that race, and so faded just a little bit. Doesn't look like he currently has a sponsor as part of like that trail team. But from based on other podcasts I'm listening to and just like hearsay is like this kid is fit, and he is crushing crowns all over Boulder. So yeah, he's definitely one to watch there.
Well, and he's training with Andy Wacker right now, who's like
It's just
faster
like,
than he's ever been,
yeah, yeah. Andy's an
who's also going to
inspiration.
be at this championship. So, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
Andy Wacker. a classic, a staple in the US trail running world.
I love it. Well, let's just talk about Andy then. Andy Wacker is a staple, as Emkay said. And yeah, I agree. Andy Wacker is a freaking inspiration sensation. Like, this dude is running faster than he ever has before. He just got like two top tens at two different USA road or
Road
cross country.
championships.
Yeah, like what? And yeah, he had kind of been dealing with, I think it was like an Achilles injury for a little bit,
Yeah,
kind of
he
off and
had
on.
his Haglins removed. So he
Yeah,
was like out for a bit, but now he's crushing it.
yeah, top 10 at the USA 25K. And then he was 10th at Bloomsday. He's literally running faster than he ever has. There, it broke 14 this April in the 5K. Like, pff,
And he's made 17 US teams already.
that doesn't tell you that this dude knows what he's doing. Yeah, big Andy Wacker fan. Just like stoked to see him crushing.
Yeah. Uh,
Talk about another American staple, David Sinclair. Lead us off.
yes. David Sinclair, I mean, this is like a short race for him now, although I'm not really concerned because it's David, he can kind of do anything.
And all his
Um,
skimo racing has been short.
Yeah, all the schemo racing has been short. If you guys haven't already listened to our episode with David Sinclair, we interviewed him a couple months ago, where he talks a little bit more about the schemo stuff. But he was first at JFK last year in a historic course record. He was first at Speed Goat in a course record, first at the Broken Arrow 46K in a course record. Um, yeah, he can do it all. And he's also from this area, currently living in Vermont, back home after a long tour in Europe for skimo season. And he's made several or a handful of USA teams. He made it in 2019 and 2022. And 2019, Dani, was the year that he made the short trail team and then got put onto the classic team last minute, right?
Yeah, like someone was didn't end up racing and they're like, "Can someone fill this spot?" And David's like, "Sure, I can." And then ran another top 10 finish and everyone was like, "Who are you?" Like, "What?" And he had just raced the day before. It was something crazy like that where I'm like, I can't wrap my head around this guy. Like, it's crazy. I now can wrap my head around this guy,
Yeah.
but it was just like wild. He did just have a rough go at Transvolcania, but so did like half of the field. Numerous dropouts, like very horrendous weather. So yeah, really stoked. Maybe he was like itching to race and jumped in, which I'm really stoked for.
Yeah. Jackson Brill was on the short trail team in 2023. I almost said last year. He was second at Breakneck, which was the marathon championships and also the qualifier for the short trail team back then, and ended up 30th at Short Trail Worlds. Hawk Call, another, we have like I would say like 50% of this list that we're talking about, maybe more, are 26-year-old men. So Hawk Call from Provo, Utah, won the Speed Goat 28K last year, was sixth overall at the 23K at Broken Arrow, and was first overall at the Antelope Island 50K back in 2023. This will be his first time going after a US team, and I believe he's one of the trail team members. It's not listed here, but I think he's a trail team member for 2025.
It does look like he is. It doesn't look like he has a full sponsor. He's like pretty kitted out in Solomon stuff, and he actually did just go and compete in Noli, Italy. I'm unclear like what place he ended up getting. So he is getting like that global exposure, and it does look like he was a pretty or is a pretty he does a lot of obstacle course racing. Another one of
Oh,
those. Yeah.
cool.
Sick.
I feel like people who do obstacle course races are really good at these like
Yeah, short.
mountain, yeah, shorter mountain
They
races.
basically are doing intervals in
Yeah.
between their racing. Yeah, it's crazy. Next
Um,
up, we have Cam Smith. Wow,
yeah.
holy cow. This
Finally.
this race is stacked, man.
Yeah.
This man wins almost every VK he enters. Period.
Unless Patrick Kipnieno's there.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, last or in 2022 he was third at Pikes Peak Marathon. In 2024 he was fourth in the 46K Broken Arrow Sky Race. He won the Rut 28K. So that's a great double header. and it's just like a overall skimo badass and like has represented Team USA multiple times and looks like he got three second places at the skimo national championships this year, which is crazy.
Yeah. And he has been on a vertical team before back in 2022 in Thailand. So I'm stoked to see him back because he like tore his ACL or something doing skiing. And then last year I feel like was his kind of comeback year. He did a lot of triple crowns last year, like the Broken Arrow Triple Crown. I think he ran all three races at the Rut, if not two. So I'm excited for a Cam Smith that's like more focused on making a team again.
Yeah, and this guy is like, oh my gosh, he has been really dealing with injury, like,
Yeah,
or he's dealt with a lot of injury. So to see him like come back, um, yeah,
patiently, slowly,
patiently,
smart.
slowly, but also just having like that mental resilience to like keep
Yeah,
coming after it. Because I want to say he had like two or three major injuries since 2022. Oh yeah,
yeah,
he tore his ACL meniscus in
yeah.
beginning of 23, and
And
then I
then
think
didn't he break a collarbone?
he like I think he might have tore something again after that. I need to
I think it
recheck.
was two knee things and one shoulder thing. Like, I mean, it's
Yeah.
skiing on skinny skis, but
Yeah, it's
still,
wild. 10
yeah.
months. Okay, I'm just watching this really cool reel that I've seen before. Because I remember when I got injured, I was like, this guy's been through the ringer and
Yeah.
he just keeps coming back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still
Oh,
crushing it.
oh my gosh, yeah. Less than 24 hours after being skied, his shoulder. Like he literally got cleared to ski, and within that day, he broke his. That's crazy. Anyways, big Cam Smith fan. Crazy. Um,
A couple more names to mention. Mason Copy was second at the 2024 USA Trail Half Marathon Championships, first overall in the 2024 Cirque Series Pro Division, just outside of the top 10 at Golden Trail World Series at Headlands last year, which I believe was his first Golden Trail race. And he has made a classic team before. Morgan Elliott also has made a classic team before. He qualified in 2023. He was the second American at the class at this race in 2023, and he was the fourth American in the VK that year. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he made both teams. And he was fourth at the Skyrunning World Championships just last year.
and then we also had Liam Miro, who was also making the team here a couple years ago. He was fourth. Um, and also is a frequent on the Golden Trail National Series. Philip Royer, who is on the East Coast as well, third at Gorge.
Just missed that spot.
Just missed that spot. And then he's currently leading the USATF New England Mountain Series, so homie knows what he's doing on these trails. Also has a 218 marathon. And then the last person we wanted to highlight because he totally screwed with this field last time he was here in a good way.
Freaking
Our
Canadians.
our friend from the north, Remy LaRoe, this guy is a crusher. Yeah, he's been in a ton of, oh my gosh, like global races,
Yeah.
WMRI, etc. This guy is a climbing phenom. He was the Canadian mountain running champion in 2024, 10th at Mammoth Trail Fest, and second at Washington Road Race. And last time he was fifth in this race after he had already won the vertical the day before and just actually smashed everybody. Which, when you smash people in a vertical, it's like pretty insane to see.
Yeah. So Remy has already made his Canadian team being the mountain running the yeah, champion in the vertical from 2024. But he's just heading down south to mess with some Americans a bit.
Yeah, why not? Have some fun.
We love to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
so
we will not be picking for
we're
this
not gonna pick
either.
podium, yeah, for this either, but
I do have a question though. What do you think of Dan Kurtz's 101 and then Grayson Murphy's, I think it was like a 108? Yeah, 108. Are those going down?
I mean the weather's better.
I know. This is like a really good Grayson race though.
Yeah,
I
I
could see
think,
Dan's maybe going down. This men's field is like deep.
yeah. And I mean, so many of them are back for more, and therefore, I imagine also fitter than they were 2 years ago. So I think that the men's record probably goes down. I think it would take a lot for Grayson's record to go down. It's not impossible, but Ally Mac was 90 seconds back on Grayson 2 years ago. So I think if it does go down, I mean, obviously the fact that the weather is not a mess helps.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely. I think it depends on maybe the strategy of the women. Because last
yeah.
time it pretty much was like Grayson and Allie took off and then Grayson took off the second time. Oh yes, I got this Strava profile. Let's go. Oh my gosh, this is disgusting. Her gap, guess what her gap pace was for that?
5:43.
Lower.
No way.
Yeah.
5:22.
And we'll split it down the middle. It's 5:31.
Damn.
Her last mile was 5:16. Yeah, she has a
Whew.
gap in here that was 5:02 pace.
Was
I
it
don't,
uphill?
it was downhill.
Whew.
It
I
had to
wonder if it was
be,
because it was so steep.
yeah, because it says she lost 900 feet and she ran 5:41 pace. I wonder
Damn.
if it was that one where she was literally like leaping over rocks.
Yeah.
That's fast. Yeah, that's gonna be hard to beat. I would say if Lauren is like incredible at cross training though too. Like she's really good at it. She's
If
someone
she's
I could
ready to
see
go, yeah.
she could challenge this for sure. And everyone else. Dang. All right, folks. So yeah, if you want to check out that live stream, once again, go to 603endurance.com. Go to Sunapee Scramble. It's right there in a big old red block. Men's race goes off at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and women's goes off 15 minutes after. MK and I will be commentating, and be sure to try out that Never Second, which will be out there on
Yeah.
course.
And make sure you go put in your free trail fantasy picks because it's a USA qualifier. Free trail does have this up on the website. So
And you're
we
welcome for
didn't,
not helping you.
yeah, we didn't give you any picks, but you can make your own.
Yeah.
We were too good. We basically handed you Zagama, so we're not going to hand you this.
Exactly. You're anybody who copied our podium, you're welcome.
Not for the men's race,
Not for the
sorry,
men's
but for the
race, but the
women's
women's
race.
side. Yeah, the women's race. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, yeah. We'll see you guys this weekend on the live stream, and this has been the Sub Hub.